Hello and welcome to a video by Leadership Society of Arizona. This video will be talking about how we can have the power to change. Now, have you ever noticed how some things in life are simple, meaning you can easily understand how and why it happened and aren't surprised by the outcome, while other things in life seem a little more complex and appear to happen for no reason at all? It looks like these things randomly happen by chance. In my life, I've begun to realize that everything in life actually happens for a reason and never by chance. By understanding this concept, I found we can actually take control of our lives and change it for the better. To understand this concept, let's begin by testing your ability to predict the future. This is Tom. If Tom were to step off this cliff, which way would Tom go? If you guessed down, you would be correct. Now ask yourself, how could you predict what would happen before it actually happened? Well, you probably knew Tom would fall because you understand the law of gravity. Now let's do a second test. Let's say we have a piece of paper. If we were to put this paper over a fire, what would happen? Of course we know it would burn because we know the basic laws of heat. There are things called natural laws. These natural laws determine how conditions change over time. Natural laws are constant and have always existed in the past, present, and future. Knowing natural laws is what allows us to predict the future. It's how you knew Tom would fall and that the paper would burn. Now, we don't create these natural laws. We discover natural laws. For instance, we didn't create gravity. Gravity always existed. We know this because even before we discovered gravity, objects would still fall. Along the same idea is that these natural laws will exist and work whether we know them or not. So if you put a piece of paper over a fire, it will burn. It doesn't matter if you know the laws of heat or not, it will still burn. Natural laws also apply to people. They determine how people learn, the change in emotions, and also a person's physical appearance. Because of this, natural laws can even make people predictable. Another way of seeing natural laws is through simple situations of cause and effect. For instance, if you don't brush your teeth will rot and decay. If you eat a lot of junk food, you'll gain weight. And if you're mean to everyone around you, you will not have many friends. All these situations make sense and are predictable because of natural laws. Now you may be asking yourself, why is it so important to know these natural laws? Well, let's take the example of brushing your teeth. There was a time when people didn't clean or take care of their teeth, and as an outcome, they had terrible teeth. No one understood at the time why their teeth were hurting or decaying. They simply blamed it on bad luck, randomness, and chance. After all, it seemed to be happening for no reason at all. Now, because they didn't know why it was happening, they kept on doing the same thing and their teeth kept hurting and decaying. But sooner or later, people like dentists began to understand why their teeth were hurting and decaying. They eventually discovered the natural laws of teeth or dentistry. They began to understand things like what caused your teeth to decay and the importance of cleaning your teeth. And because of this, people began to use things like mouthwash, floss, and toothbrushes, and eventually they found a way to stop your teeth from hurting and to become healthier. There are a lot of things in life we don't understand that cause us pain and discomfort. But I found there are two ways to approach these issues. The first is to believe in randomness and chance. Now, often this appears like the easier approach because it relieves us from any accountability. However, believing in randomness and chance also means we have no power. We are stuck. There is nothing we can do to avoid or stop the same kind of pain and discomfort from happening because, well, it just happened by chance. The second approach is to believe that nothing happens by chance, but there is a reason behind it. This approach often appears much more difficult because it makes us accountable for our lives and what happens to us. But on the other hand, believing this also means that we know that we have the power to change our lives. We can do things differently to get different results. This always reminds me of the time I had a very painful sore throat. It became so painful that I required medicine. I found some in our house, which was a green liquid spray. The directions seemed easy enough. For an irritated and sore throat, apply 2 to 3 sprays directly on throat. It seemed a little strange, but I took it, lifted my head, and sprayed it on the outside of my neck or throat. Now, oddly enough, I could instantly feel it working. I thought to myself, this is the best medicine ever. Wouldn't it be great if all medicine was this easy? However, after repeating this throughout the day, I realized that my neck had become very sticky. My shirt had a green ring around the neckline, and my pain really hadn't gone away. Reading the instructions again, I learned that I was incorrectly applying the medicine. It, of course, was supposed to be sprayed in your mouth, not on the outside of your neck. Now, when I figured out it wasn't working, I could have blamed it on bad luck or chance. I may have even blamed the medicine for being faulty. But because I was willing to admit that I may have made a mistake, or that it may have been something I misunderstood or something that I could do differently, I reread the instructions and found the issue. Of course, it was embarrassing, and I felt a little foolish admitting to myself of what I did, but I was able to learn and solve the problem. Now, this is a minor situation, but we often act very similarly with more serious problems in life. In the end, I realized that if I continued to blame what I didn't understand on luck and chance, I would be destined to repeat and relive the same pains and discomforts for my entire life. But by believing in the no chance approach and learning the natural laws of life, I can actually have the power to improve my life and find solutions so I can minimize and avoid pain in my life. And I'd have to say it makes life a whole lot better. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.